Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from West Fork Whiskey Company. This is their straight bourbon whiskey, finished in hot honey barrels, coming in at a 59.73% ABV. I don't even know where to begin on this, so I guess we just got to talk about what's going on here. So when it comes to West Fork Whiskey Company, they are actually based out of here in Indiana, in Westfield. And they did a big collaboration project with two other places here in Indiana, and to create something so unique that I knew I needed to try to grab a bottle of it. And there's only 50 of these on their first release, and they sold out day one, obviously. The idea here was not only a local collaboration, but to do something that, as far as I know, I don't think anybody else has ever done. So West Fork, they are doing their own distillation. They tell us a mash bill on this, which includes 73% corn, 17 wheat, and 10% rye. So they take their wheated bourbon, and what essentially happened was they paired up with King Butter, that's his name, and he does some great things when it comes to spices and hot sauces and that kind of good stuff. And he does a lot of local things, going to farmers markets, doing that. And then a beef farm named Mumby's Orchard. And so they took a barrel from West Fork, they filled it with the hot honey, which actually is this right here. It came from the same barrel. And they made up their spice mix with a bit of hot sauce, put that all into the barrel, let that do its thing. They then took it back to West Fork, and they tried a couple different things. They tried it with a rye, they tried it with a corn whiskey, and they ended up landing on the wheated bourbon to be the poster child for their first release. So they took that, threw it into the barrel, let it sit there for a few bit of times, and then came out with this. And I got to go to an event for it. It was really awesome, very early in the morning for me, but it was an experience if nothing else. And being able to purchase something like this, to have such a unique bottle on my shelf, I wanted to share that with you here today. So let's just go ahead and pop it open and just see how it goes. So I did get to try it at the distillery during the release. Obviously, I haven't tried it since. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit, become a member if you'd like. If you're interested in learning more about the collaboration of the other two areas, Mumby's Orchard and King Butter, I will be putting links to their website so you can go check them out, visit them, purchase their products. They're great people. I love supporting local here in Indiana, so if I can spread their word a little bit more, I'm more than happy to. And if you're interested in learning more about West Fork Whiskey Company, I'll be putting some other links to video reviews that I've done for them, because I've done quite a few. They'll be linked up above and down below. I do like that they decided to keep this cask strength instead of proofing it down or doing anything like that. I wonder if I should have shook this the amount. There is a good amount of sediment down there. Maybe I should do a good, oh my God. Yeah, let's do a good shake on this real quick. It is cloudy as all get out. And to be honest, you're either going to love or hate honey barrel finished products under most circumstances. They are fairly potent. I've done quite a bit of honey barrel finished products as well, and they can vary quite a bit depending on what they're doing, the type of whiskey they're putting in there, and that kind of good stuff. Oh, and I will say, you can order this from the hot honey directly from King Butter, and that is some of the best hot honey I've ever tasted. But very dark, very cloudy. The honey really did its number on the whiskey itself. All right, let's go for notes. And yeah, I mean, right away, you get the hot honey. It's spicy. You get that little snap of capsaicin in here. The honey funk, for the lack of better words. It's got this raw honey note to it. Like if you've ever popped open or used raw honey, that's what it smells like. There's a bit of the weeded characteristic in there as well. You're getting a little bit of like a soft spiciness from the bourbon itself. You're also getting a bit of the oak vanilla caramel that bourbons are known to have, but it is very much covered up by that hot honey. My mouth is salivating right now, actually. I mean, it's gorgeously done on the nose. When you see that label, which I love the label concept that they decided to do with this, and on the nose, it's spicy, it's sweet, it's flavorful, to be honest. Let's go for a taste. That's even better than at the event. It's actually, a little spicy. I had to let that kind of subside a bit because your first sip is impactful. And I gotta say, it's a wonderful sip. So starting off right from the bat, you're getting a lot of that hot honey, obviously. You're getting that kind of red pepper flakes, cracked black pepper, maybe even like a little bit of like a jalapeno spice in there. It doesn't last long. Like, it's not like, Carolina Reaper or anything super spicy. If anything, I would say it probably equates to maybe a little bit of a jalapeno if I really wanted to give an actual pepper to it. But if anything, freshly cracked black peppercorns and some red pepper flakes, it'd be where I'd be at on spice levels. The raw honey just clings to a T. But then in the midsection is where your bourbon characteristics start showing up. The bit of corn, the wheated spiciness in there as well. That little bit of rye going on brings across that just a tad bit of rye spice and a little bit of an herbalness for me. And then you're kind of finishing on a spice characteristic from the hot honey yet again. So it's like hot honey, whiskey, hot honey. And then the beginning and tail ends there kind of blend together beautifully. Obviously, the more I swish it around, the spicier it gets. And I tell you what, it's gorgeous. It's unique, and it's not going to be for everybody. But I love the idea. The flavor comes across. This isn't a gimmicky bottle. But again, if you're not a honey fan, this ain't going to change you. It's spicy, yet all those beautiful wheated characteristics are coming through. And I love, their wheated is one of my favorite bottles that they do. The flavor profile that comes across is unlike anything I've ever tasted in such a positive way. Again, it's not going to be for everybody, but a damn well it's made for me. It's very viscous on the palate too, obviously, but I love how that wheated bourbon really just drives home even more spice to everything. That deep oakiness that I'm getting is beautifully done. And overall, while it is hot honey forward, the bourbon does play its part very well. All right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. So I think I paid $54.99, so $55 for this, if I remember right. And for such a unique bottle, I can't say no. There was only 50 of this first batch made, and they did let us know that they are working on future batches just because how amazing this one turned out. I'd pay that every day of the week. If this could be shelf stable at that price, I'd recommend it to a lot of people. But I'll tell you what, the profile this brings across just showcases what a great bourbon can do with the right barrel. And the collaboration project between the three companies, it's amazing to see. I support local anytime I can. And this is as local as I could probably think of. By the way, the hot honey is great on pizza as well. I think I paid $20 for this. It's worth it every day of the week. I'd keep this on my shelf. Same thing. This can stay on my shelf, and this can stay on my shelf for those prices. This is some of the best hot honey I've ever had. Anyway, back on the whiskey itself. When West Fork does another batch of this, I highly recommend going out and grabbing yourself a bottle. So yeah, there you have it, folks. West Fork Whiskey Company, straight bourbon whiskey, finished in hot honey barrels. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. I love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I really like it might not.